Hey, welcome to Friday Find Your Groove Day. I'm your host, Lynn Burnett. Welcome to this episode. You're so lucky because I've got my fabulous friend, Andy Shepherd, joining me today. Andy is an entrepreneur from Derby, England. He ran his own English language school in Brazil, and he now lives in Los Angeles, California, working as a peak performance and breakthrough coach. I've had Andy here a few times talking about mindset, how to harness the power of your mind to create the fabulous things that you want in your life. I love it every time he comes here and joins us because we always have a fabulous conversation. Don't we, Andy?
Absolutely. Yes, that's right. Always fabulous.
Always, always. So we're going to jump into it because people want to know. They're trying different things and they're still struggling. They're still struggling with mindset. And for those of you listening, make sure you go and visit Andy's website at Shepherd, that's SHEPHERD coaching.com. But don't go there yet, actually. Just write that down because we want you to focus and listen on what we're going to talk about because, I'm sure you've tried to do affirmations. They don't work. You try it and you're like, well, that's enough of this stuff. I'm not doing it because it doesn't work. It only works for other people. There's something I'm missing. Or, I try to think positive all the time and that's so difficult and it doesn't feel right. Well, we're going to jump into all of that stuff, aren't we?
Absolutely. That's
Absolutely.
right.
Yeah. And you've been doing some great videos lately. And so you did a good one on thinking positive. And I know for some people that's what they do all the time. And they, the expression, I don't know if you've heard this expression. Some people wouldn't say shit if their mouth was full of it.
Yeah, that's right.
And for some people, that's the way they are. They, it's just talk positive all the time and think positive all the time. But that's not necessarily the best way to go, is it?
No, it isn't. I mean, everything starts with thinking positive. I mean, you do need to do that. You need to clear your mind of negative things. But the thing that people are forgetting is it's all about positive actions. So my favorite example is, if you've got like an orange wall, if you're doing positive thinking, you can scream with your thoughts or yell out loud, white wall, white wall, white wall, white wall, until you're blue in the face. You could do this for a month. You could do it for 2 years. You could do it for 10 years. You could do it for the rest of your life. That orange wall is never going to become white until you have an action. That action can be go out and buy a white paint and a brush and go and paint it. It can be go and call somebody to go and contract them and paint it for you, or call a friend to go and do it. There's got to be an action. So it starts with positive thinking because you're thinking, okay, this wall must not be orange anymore. This wall's going to be white, and then boom, what am I going to do about it?
Yes, that's the missing ingredient, I guess, is action.
Exactly, and this is the biggest problem with I see in my coaching clients and so on, because my coaching clients will get all fired up and they'll go, at the end of the session, they're all raring to go. But unless they follow the instructions of what we've agreed upon, the actions, steps to take, it's going to do nothing. The reason that they're feeling good is they're connecting to the truth of what can be. They're already going into the future. They're already seeing how their lives are going to be transformed. They're already seeing in the now what everything is going to be like. And they're reveling in that and going, my goodness, what a fabulous life I'm going to have. And that is truth. That is reality. But only if you follow the action steps to make it happen. Because remember, we're living in a physical world now. But the great thing is that the physical world is actually, we can guide it and direct it using our mind, using our thoughts. But with it being physical, in my opinion, we still need physical actions. Now, you could say that there are some people who can just think positively and everything will happen. Well, these are usually kind of gurus who are sitting on top of some mountain doing some really heavy meditation, and they can just move mountains and do whatever. And yeah, maybe that is possible. But for the majority of people that I'm meeting today, it isn't. We need to do some kind of physical action.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. And I think it's exhausting. I think it would be exhausting constantly. I think because you're denying certain emotions or feelings, or I would think it's exhausting.
What would be exhausting?
Constantly thinking positive, positive. Maybe you're having a crappy day. Maybe things didn't work out well that day. Maybe there's been a lot of overwhelming pressures. I would think, and to always be, oh, it's great, and slap that big smile on. I think at some point it's becomes denial.
Well, what's actually happening is they're in a constant battle because their subconscious is there's kind of like a higher self to us, if you like, and you could say that's the universe, that's God. It could be our higher intelligence. Doesn't matter. You label it how you want, but that higher intelligence is our higher self is saying this is baloney. Just thinking positive's not working. And so there's this discord. So all the time that they're thinking, oh, I've got to think positive. Oh, it's all fluffy bunnies and beautiful butterflies and rainbows and unicorns and pixie dust and everything's fantastic. It's like, your other side of you is like going, this is absolute horse doo-doo. This is not going to work. What are you doing, guy? Go and do something. Take action. Go do it.
Yeah. So what you're saying, it brings up important thing is the mind. The mind isn't one thing. It's there's two parts to it, and they're in conflict with each other, and that's where the problem comes in.
Yes, I think actually our mind is very, very complex. I think it's multifaceted.
Yeah.
But I think to keep it simple, of the things that are kind of important, you can just see it as kind of like black and white and good and bad. For example, with some of my clients, I kind of label different sides of them. So a side of them which is, not working right, I find a name for that. And then for a side which they want to become, I name it the other. And so I say, well, okay, you can have a little fight between each other. And you can say, well, Horace is doing this all wrong, but Peter is going to do this the right way because Peter wants this to be good and wants his life to be great, and he's sick to death of listening to Horace because Horace just wants a crappy life, and Peter doesn't want that, so Peter's going to win because Peter's invincible, Yeah. And just with with some people, this really, really works well because they can identify easily with these two characters and they can build them however they want. And so, it's like a video game. The job is for Peter to be killing Horace and winning and being the victor all the time, and that can really work well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do that too. I'll do that too with clients, is to have them really sort of personify that part that's always trying to drag them down, because it is much easier. I notice, to be able to do that, and it is easier for clients. It makes that change quicker for them when they can personify that thing and realize that it's kind of make it outside of themselves.
Exactly. And I know that this works really well because I remember when I lived in the UK, I had a really stressful job as a computer repair engineer. And I got real difficulty with one specific personal relationship. And this lady was really causing me a lot of problems. And I didn't have Tony Robbins knowledge. I didn't have NLP. I didn't have positive thinking, if you like. I got some limited ideas, but nothing that was working. And the one thing that I did was I knew that I just said, okay, when I go through this door and there's like about 20 people on the other side, I'm going to be Andy, the happy person. I'm going to be Andy, whose life is perfection and is absolutely incredible. And that's what I did. And I'd walk through the door and I'd feel really, really good. And I took on this personality. even though inside of me, there was a part of me which was feeling really bad and dying. And I know that this really, really worked well because the managing director of this company, I was working third party, he'd consistently said he didn't like any of the field service engineers, but I was the best. And I was the one person that he wished that I would stay there because I had a job opportunity to move. So I knew at that point that was proof positive. He'd seen me at my worst, but still I was, for an outside experience, perception, I was doing my best. So
yeah.
This acting can really, really do well. And the more that you take on the personality of being this person who's supercharged and positive, then your life will work in alignment. You'll change. If most people spend their lives taking on the role of a depressive, of a person who's unhappy, as a person who is a victim. And they're sending out this energy to the universe, to the world, and they're just going to attract bad stuff to them constantly because other people in their energy field will be picking this up. And so they'll be going, there's a victim, magnet, boom, right. Okay, so we've got somebody to victimize. We've got somebody to attack. We've got somebody to verbally abuse. So this is why, even if you're not feeling it, you need to take on the role. Okay, what would a happy person do? What can I do? And just change your state. Go and dance around for a while. Go and listen to comedy, something that makes you happy. Get that shift. Become that person.
So it's tapping into that positive side. So it's not, you're not discounting feelings that maybe aren't positive. How do you tackle that? I mean, you got to have crappy days, Andy. What do you do?
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, I've got a series of techniques to deal with that. And, fortunately, the more you've dealt with your past and the more that you know how to, I mean, I can do state changes where I don't need to have a crappy day. I can just do something and like that, I'm going to be out of it. And, that's something
huge. That's the big thing, is changing your state.
Exactly. And we all have a choice of whether we want to change the state or not. We can say that it's all down to external of why we feel this way. It's not true. It really isn't. We have the choice to change. And so we have to make a decision. Are we going to allow it or not?
Yes, I see that. Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely, we have the tools, you and I and other coaches and practitioners, we have the tools to be able to, when we notice something that's coming at us or that we're triggered and feeling a certain way, we have the tools that we can use to quickly go, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to change my state. And and for those that don't understand that's listening, changing your state, I'll let you explain that, Andy.
Okay, well, we can compare notes. I'll say something, and then maybe you add a few things. We're a team
because we all have
here.
our own way to do that. Absolutely.
And I think that's important. I mean, this is the thing. It's like I have different things, and I'll use them at appropriate moments because sometimes like a trigger state for me will be just to drink a certain product or eat a certain food, and that'll make me feel good. Or it'll be to watch a certain program on Netflix or whatever. Or it'll be, I mean, the greatest thing if you're feeling a funk, if you're feeling down, if you're feeling stagnant, is to get out and go and walk. Yes. A lot of people are now working from home, and so their energy is staying within their environment. And you've got to break this, and you've got to get out. And just even if you just walk around the block or just go for 5 or 10 minutes, it completely changes everything because our energy expands because we're out there in the open, and it's an expansive energy. And as we're moving, we're actually letting go and releasing this stagnant energy. And that's like a really good thing to do. In my videos that you talked about, I talked about something that my mentor Tony Robbins taught me. Now I've kind of expanded on that, and I've done a few add-ons and kind of pepped that up a bit. And so that's something that is really, really good to do in the morning, to get out and start your day with that, because you know how we start our day is often what will continue until the end. I mean, a great example is, I mean, if you get up out of bed and you stub your toe, usually your day is in a big decline because you stub your toe and then you run out of toothpaste and then you don't have any coffee and you I don't know, you cut yourself with your butter knife, or I don't know. It's just like just becomes a big
domino effect.
Exactly. A big snowball effect, domino effect. So we have to just cut it right at the beginning. And the way to do that is to just change your focus. You know, some people just laugh. Something bad happens and they just laugh. You know, in Brazil, that's what they do. Something bad happens, their automatic response is to laugh. And in my culture, it's to get angry and aggressive. But they don't. They just laugh about it and they release the energy. It's amazing. So starting your day, going walking, hour of power, fantastic.
So you just said something that just made me think. When you said in Brazil, when something happens, they laugh about it. So we see that with people sometimes, that they seem to laugh at inappropriate times where they feel nervous or whatever. So I wonder if that is a natural response.
You've got a good point there.
To release that energy.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yes, that's right. And of course, the problem is that we've got a cultural ethics, which is saying, well, culturally, we can't do that. In this situation, you have to be this. Yeah. And we've got a whole bunch of things which are tying us down and making us conform in certain patterns all the time. You know, for example, if we have a bereavement, then we're automatically, we have to be depressed. We have to be sad. Yeah. And Brazil's a Catholic country, and there it's terrible. I've been to some funerals, and the energy there is just terrible. Everybody is in so much grief and despondency because that's the culture. That's what they're supposed to be. Yeah. You know, when Wayne Dyers, for example, when he died, his message was, this is a celebration. I'm now moving to the next level. Yeah. This is glorious.
Yeah.
This is fabulous.
Definitely. Yeah, our emotions are conditioned, definitely, through society, how we're supposed to behave, and if it isn't, if we don't a certain way, then there's something wrong with us.
That's right. That's right.
It's so sad.
So, well, it is. It is what it is. It's just. There's so many opportunities that we have to transform. You know, and we all have a decision. Well, how do we want our lives to be? How do we want things to be? How do we want to feel? How do we want what does this mean to me? What do I want it to mean? We have a choice every second. Mm-hmm. You know, and we just have to step up and make it happen.
The real driving force behind using the power of our mind to help us to overcome, to create a better life, is really the subconscious mind, isn't it?
How do you mean? It's the subconscious?
It's really, because if talking about, when we talked about earlier about affirmations, but if your subconscious does not believe that, right, that's where you'll fall down and things like that won't work for you. So the subconscious is really the driving force.
Yes. I mean, the thing I've done a lot of meditation in the past, and I followed Buddhism very, very strictly for a period, for a couple of really long periods, and did considerable meditation. I'd be doing like meditation and prayers for something like 4 hours every day, non-stop.
Wow.
Exactly. Oh. I mean, I went on like 2-week retreats, and I've done a whole bunch of stuff. So what this taught me was that we need to kind of learn how to work, not control. We can't control the mind, but we can at least work with it. And we can I kind of trick my mind into
Yes.
going into a direction that I wish it to. I understand how my mind works, and I'll kind of do whatever it takes. And I'll be a bit sneaky sometimes. So it's like playing a game of football, and I kind of pretend that I'm going to go in one direction. And then when the opposition comes at me, I'm actually going in another direction, and I'll dodge. And I'll play these games all the time with my mind. And my mind's like going, what the heck's going on? And I go, ha ha, I'm winning again. I'm getting what I want.
You're so funny. That's really what it's about. Mind hacks.
Exactly.
Mind hacks. Okay, so give me an
That's right.
example. Tell me an example of how you do that. If you can think of one.
I don't know. I mean, just like, I'm not feeling like doing anything. And just a simple one is just like I say, well, I'm going to watch television all day. And I'll say, right, that's it. And my mind's going, oh, great. I can watch TV all day. But what I'll do is I'll turn something on and watch it for about 10 minutes. And my mind will like get quiet and go, oh, I'm happy. I can relax. And then go, I'm going to go and work now, and switch the TV off and go and work. And it's like going, what happened there? I'm like really happy. I'm watching TV. I'm going to watch TV all the day. Ah, what the heck? And then you can go working again.
And that's an example of doing what works for you. Absolutely.
Exactly. I mean, for other people, it might not work because they might just sit in front of the TV, get the popcorn out, and that's the end of it. They'll just watch TV all day. I mean, my thing is, this is why I love something like Netflix, because if I'm watching TV, it's the kiss of death. I do not watch TV anymore because it's there to keep you watching it 24/7. It's designed to do that. But with something like Netflix, I can have a choice. I can switch it off. I can pause it, and then I can come back and it'll be in exactly the same place that I stopped. So I can go continue watching. And that works for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. For me, it's definitely state is the big thing for me. That's, and I'll notice I'll get, really stale and stagnant. And I try to force to be productive, and I just need to do this, and it's not working. And I know for me, it's definitely getting up, walking around, turning on some music, getting in a whole different state of mind, burning some of that energy off and really changing things up a little bit. And then you do, even if it's just for 10 minutes, you get a little bit more refreshed and you can get into it. For me, that's my big thing, more than it is doing a little bit of a mind trick or a mind hack. It's really changing state for me. And then it's gratitude I find is a really great influencer for activating a positive mind, for getting out of that negative mindset and being of service. So it's that giving part, because when we are in that negative mind space, we tend to, it's all about us. And if we can switch it to asking ourselves, okay, well, maybe I can go do something for somebody, or, maybe I'll give somebody a call that I haven't talked to for a while that's important to me, or it's switching it outside of yourself. So that kind of works for me, the gratitude and service and changing my state.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, this is where Hour of Power is really, really useful, because that's what you're doing right in the morning. I mean, very quickly, the 3 stages are, the first is gratitude. So you spend 20 minutes with gratitude, and then 20 minutes with visualizations, and 20 minutes with affirmations while you're walking. And this really, really works very well. And gratitude is such a great generator of positive energy. I think it's very much underestimated. And, I think it's important to be even grateful. Not even. I mean, this is essential, to be grateful for the smallest of things, to be grateful for, to see a beautiful flower, or be grateful for somebody opening a door for us, or for grateful for, having the internet, or, good reception, or grateful for having somebody call you and say, hey, how you doing? Whatever it is,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we can train, like I do laughter yoga. And it's definitely about training the thought process and the habits and connection. And you can absolutely do that. And I've noticed over the years of doing it that it is easier to laugh. It is easier to do those things. So if you can develop a system for yourself, a routine that will train you to feel that way and to think that way. And you talk about the hour of power, and that's your routine that you've come to find that works for you.
Absolutely, that's right. And, but that doesn't mean that that's all we're doing. I mean, like you say, you've got different things that you can do during the day,
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's important as well. So you're feeling a bit down and, maybe you can do some kind of jumping jacks just to get you revved up again, or, just the fact of moving around and walking around. For example, if I'm on a telephone call, I'm going to be walking around. I'm actually standing now. I'm not sitting down, and I'm kind of moving around as I'm talking to you.
That's what I do. I find I think better, can feel better when I walk around if I'm on the phone or if I'm on a meeting. I do that. I walk around my house.
That's right. No, that's really, really important. And, it's kind of, I can't remember exactly what's going on now, but it's very, very important that you're doing that. There's as you're moving, then this is having a different reaction with the way that you're thinking. So it's very important. And also, to me, it's like you're not blocking energy, so the energy is like free to flow, which is
it
pretty
fuels
awesome.
the mindset. That
Exactly.
movement, the gratitude, the visualization, the affirmations, those things fuel your mindset. Absolutely. I want to know, what are your thoughts on vision boards? Those are the big thing. If we're talking about visualization.
Okay, so what I like is I like visualizations, like using my mind, and I like affirmations. But with vision boards, I think that they can work, but and I have had good results with them. But it's kind of the time scale for them to happen tends to be longer. To me, when I'm doing my visualizations and I'm doing my affirmations, things tend to be more focused and they happen quicker. But there's lots of people who are using them and they do work. I did a good friend of mine. Can I say her name? Is that okay?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So Deborah Derris, she did a workshop with.
Yes, I love her.
She's fabulous. She's a great friend of mine. We've done a few videos together as well. She's awesome. So I did vision board with her, and I went to it and I did it, and then I kind of forgot about it. And then at the end of the year, I went and looked at it, and I found that pretty much everything on the vision board had pretty much happened, which is amazing. So it can have a positive effect. But for me, I prefer to just, decide what I want, work out how I'm going to do my visualization, and then create some affirmations, so I guess it's personal preference. What are your thoughts?
Well, I do like to do a vision board, and it's on the wall right in front of my computer, so I look at it all the time, and it's a reminder. I don't put all, how do I say this? I don't put all my wantings, desires, lay it all on just doing that and that's it. I think it needs something else with it. Absolutely. I don't think that I'm just going to sit and I'm going to create my vision board. I'm very picky about what I put on it. So I definitely think about it and think about what I want, but then I don't just do it and then just leave it to chance. I think there's the other things that have to go with it. So the affirmations, whatever it is for you that works. I think there has to be something else to go with it. I think the act of doing it can trigger the subconscious into focusing, but I don't think alone on its own. But who knows? I mean, sometimes you'll see people that they don't visualize or have a gratitude journal or say affirmations and things like that. But everything seems to come to them. It seems to be without any effort whatsoever. Mm-hmm. and maybe on a subconscious level, they are doing those things, but they don't realize it. And like you said, there's so much more to it. But I like the process. I like the act of creating a vision board. I like that because it can bring focus and because I look at it every day. But I don't think you could leave everything up to that simple act.
Yes, that's right. Well, the issues that I've got with vision boards are, and then why I prefer affirmations and visualizations is, you're in a controlled environment when you're doing your visualizations and affirmations, and you're being very careful. You know, if you're doing it the way I do it, is to really be concentrating and making sure that you're not saying, you know, going BS to this. And BS obviously means belief systems, because we have so many belief systems, so many things that are holding us back from the past, things that our parents have told us, things that society's told us, you know, that money is not easy to come by, that, you know, et cetera, or, you know, you got to start having your feet on the ground and don't think fanciful or whatever it is. These are all things that are holding us back. These are limiting beliefs. So the thing that we're self-sabotaging when we're doing visualizations and affirmations, if we're not careful, our subconscious is self-sabotaging, and it's not doing it on purpose. It's a protective system. It's kind of saying, hey, there's a danger here, because we've got this conditioned response which is saying that this is a warning and that we shouldn't go there. So now we need to unravel all of that and say, no, subconscious, everything's okay. We can delete that program now. You know, we're protected and everything is fine.
Yes.
So when we're looking at something visual, when we're using a vision board, the issue that I've got is that I think that a lot of people are looking at it and going, brand new car, that'll never happen. Beautiful match. Yeah, you dream on. Yeah. And because we're looking at it in a state where we don't really know what's going on in our mind, our subconscious is having a field day. And this is why for certain people, for many people, it probably doesn't work, because they're not controlling their subconscious, or they've not dealt with their limiting beliefs.
Mm-hmm. That's why it's so important to personify that subconscious, that part that is saying, hey, I'm just trying to protect you. I'm just playing devil's advocate, is because then you can look at it and go, okay, you know, I understand you're there, Horace. I understand you're trying to protect me, but I've got this and I know what's better for me. Absolutely.
That's right. And this is, I mean, there are occasions when, I mean, really we need to go in at a deeper level.
For
and this
sure.
is where working with you or me is very beneficial, because, you know, the stuff that is really so deep in there, it's got to be released. And so that it's not there with this program, which is there to protect us and is actually harming us, not to our best interest. We need to just, you know, eradicate it, just release it, let it go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And you do have to go deeper for sure for some people, because it's really getting, underneath. And then you've got the beliefs and wherever it came from, and then results to confirm those beliefs. And it's just layer after layer after layer. And then, you know, the evidence. And so, you do have to go a little bit deeper. Something I like too. I mean, I think I like the process of the vision board, and I like all that. I think it's really important to acknowledge the good things we've done, the accomplishments we have made, to also combat the subconscious when it's trying to say, no, you don't know what you're doing. What do you think you're doing? You don't know enough. No one's going to listen to you. I like to bring up, hey, but you did this, and I did that, and this, and you know, look, the sky didn't fall on me. So I'm big on doing that with my clients as well, is if you want to do a vision board, but I'll do an evidence board, or keep an evidence journal, or an accomplishment board, or whatever you want to call it, to combat when we say, oh yeah, well, I did this one time and it didn't work out. So to really come up with the things, but look at when you did this and that happened and that was amazing.
Totally agree. I mean, this is really celebration is something that's really, really important. Celebrating our past achievements, and this is great. If we're feeling down in the dumps, then we can go and have a look and go through it and say, "Hey, I did this, I did that. I'm an achiever." It's not about people. We're in a society where it's like, oh, you're only achieved if you're a multimillionaire, or you've only achieved
Yeah.
if you've got a Rolls Royce. You've only achieved if you've got 15 Emmys and
Yeah.
61 Oscars or whatever. It's all
Yeah.
baloney. It doesn't really
Yeah.
matter. Achievement is I've got a driving license. Achievement is I'm fit and healthy. Achievement is that I've been in an amazing relationship. And achievement is I've got two beautiful children. Achievement is I've got some incredible friends.
Yes.
Achievement is if I've had the best holiday ever. And, achievement is I used to live in Brazil for 14 years. What a privilege to do that. My
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah.
You can't take that away. I've done that. I've been there.
Yes.
And this is so important. But we also should be celebrating. I mean, the first thing I'm going to do after I've got off this radio show is go, yes! And celebrate because
Yeah.
great. I've had this opportunity to be again on a wonderful radio show, talking to you, hopefully inspiring other people to have a fulfilling, fabulous, amazing life and to let go of things that are getting in their way from being and doing that. What a great thing to
Absolutely.
celebrate.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. The little things. I like to look at the achievements and the little things. And that comes in with the gratitude as well. Gratitude and the achievements, all of that. So I want to ask, there's another thing that had come out a few years back, affirmations. Are you familiar with that?
Okay, I think I've heard it at some point, but yeah, please remind me. Tell me about that.
Noah St. John. Yeah, that's his name. Came out with this book called Affirmations. And it was a little bit of a change on the affirmations. And we know, you and I, because of our
Okay.
training through Tony Robbins, that asking powerful, positive questions rather than people saying, oh, why am I so overweight, or why am I in this dead end job? That we need to change the questions that we ask ourselves. And affirmations is about asking the questions, taking the affirmations and turning them into a question that's in positive form. So rather than saying, I am fit, but, yet we've got all these health issues and things aren't going so well and we're on 20 different medications and we're really not believing that because the mind wants to find an answer when we ask it a question. So an affirmation is, instead of saying, why am I broke? And then the affirmation would be, I am rich, but yet we don't believe it. So in his book, he suggests saying, why am I rich? So that our mind will look for positive answers.
Okay.
I thought it was quite clever, taking an affirmation and turning it into a positive question.
No, that's good because I mean it's going into yourself to find reasons for being rich, and so and also you're kind of going into gratitude doing that, aren't you?
Yeah.
Because you're
Yeah.
being grateful for the great things that you've done. So yeah, I can see that as being a good tool. Yeah, I'll look into that. I mean, at the moment, I don't know. I mean, I can see that you're getting a whole bunch of gratitude from it, and it's kind of giving you some reason to start connecting, letting go of your stuff, whatever's holding you back. But yeah, sounds
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. You get the book, Andy, and then do a video review.
Okay.
I would love
Okay.
to hear your thoughts on it because you are the mindset guy. So I would love to. I haven't read the book myself. I remember when it came out, I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago, maybe. And I thought, I was seeing it everywhere and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool because, yeah, we always talk about, questions. It's all in the
Right.
questions that you ask. And I thought this is really neat. And then I don't know what happened. I didn't end up buying the book,
Okay.
but I'd like to. But yeah, I would love to hear your So it's Noah St. John. I don't
Okay.
remember the whole thing about, I don't remember the whole title, but it's Affirmation, Affor. So AFFOR
Okay.
Mations,
Okay.
Affirmations. And then do
Good.
a review video.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that. Fantastic. Yeah, I've heard of Noah St. John. That name's familiar to me. So yeah, that's very interesting.
He's written
I
a
mean,
few books.
okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
No, I mean, the most important thing about doing affirmations is something. I mean, I've talked about this in the past. Affirmations don't work. And the reason is that people are just kind of saying they just don't believe in it, and so they're self-sabotaging. The subconscious is saying no, this is not true, and it's just not happening. So this is why choosing an affirmation is really you've got to do it carefully. It's got to be something that you can believe in. And so, if you're kind of saying it every day in every way, I'm getting better and better, then that's something that you can kind of believe. Well, yeah, I can get a little bit better every day. So it's got to be, it's like every day in every way, I'm a marathon runner, or I don't know. If you're thinking something like if you're going, I am a marathon runner, maybe you're or a number one. I don't know, I'm a gold medal winner. Maybe you're not going to believe it, but you've got to do it in stages. I mean, if you are a gold medal winner, then you can believe it. So you've got to play with it. It's got to be something that resonates with you,
Yeah, that sits right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Because you can't lie to yourself.
Exactly. And if you try, it's not going to work. I mean, it's got to be something that kind of stretches you, because otherwise there's no point to an affirmation. But it's got to be something that you can believe might come true. Because the idea of it for me is when I'm doing my affirmations, I'm doing it so that I'm doing it so much, just one of them repetitiously, that I'm getting into a kind of a self-hypnotic state. I'm getting into a trance. So it's going into my subconscious because that's where it needs to be. And that's when it starts working. Because if you like going, every day in every way, I'm getting better and better every day. You got to really believe in it. Because every day in every way, I get better and better.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's
Blah,
like
blah, blah.
yada, 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 yada. Exactly.
Yeah. You
So,
definitely have to have that power of belief behind it. And I absolutely agree with you. You have to do something because you can't lie to yourself. And if you're saying something that isn't true, absolutely it's not going to work. You have to, I'm working on becoming richer, or I'm working on getting healthier, or whatever it may be that you can attach to in some way. Yeah, that you can buy, that you can believe. Absolutely. And I think if people would change that and try doing it that way, people, for 30 days in a way that you can believe. And then you'll see, and then you can go, okay, I'm getting this now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just try small things, first. Don't try something really, really big to start off with, because, you say, if you're focusing on being a millionaire, well, in 30 days, that's probably not going to happen, you know? And so you need to do it in something that is achievable, something that you could do. And that's important, because often we kind of set ourselves up for failure and we don't realize it. We're self-sabotaging ourselves. And I don't want everybody to go, oh my goodness, I'm self-sabotaging again. No, I'm so terrible. It's like, no, people, stop it.
Yeah.
It's not about that. And if that's what you were doing this second, you make a decision. It's like, I don't do that anymore. I'm not that person. I'm not self-sabotaging. I'm a person who is in control of my life and moving forward and, creating whatever environment I want out of my life. But, I'm realistic about this, and I'm going to take baby steps. I'm not expecting miracles to happen overnight. And sometimes they're going to, and I'm going to go whoopee and celebrate and be really happy. But I'm going to be really, really happy about the small steps as well. So set yourself up to win is the key phrase of the day, I think.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You have to set yourself up to win. It's essential. So for those listening, the time always goes by so quickly when we're when we're chatting, Andy. For
It's
people
true.
who maybe life has been, or they feel that life has been really difficult, they've been down. They haven't been happy for a while. Nothing. They're unhappy with their relationships, their jobs. There's no zest for life, and it's been that way for a while. And it's just become the automatic thinking of their life. But we all reach those times at different times where we say, "Enough! I am so sick of." I'm so sick of this. I'm sick of this life. There's got to be more. For those that are saying that, and maybe one of them is listening and they're like, oh my God, life has just sucked. But you know what? I am tired of this and I want to make a change. Where do they start? What can they do right now, today, when this show is over?
Well, the first thing is just we get to the point where, I mean, if you're at the bottom, then this is great because you can only go upwards. So, I've been to the bottom many, many times, and I feel really happy at that point. When you've got everything that's smashed to pieces, you're actually in the most fortunate time of your life, believe it or not, because everything can be new. You can rebuild everything. You can have new relationships. You can have a new place to live, a new country to live, a new job, new friends, new everything. You can start everything from scratch if you want to, because you're at the bottom, you've lost everything. So, go and change everything. And you at the point where to make any decision, to do anything in our life, we need leverage. And we need leverage on ourselves. Leverage is meaning to, give us this direction, this motivating force, this inspiration to get us to make the changes necessary to build the life that we want. And the thing that you need to remember is that every single human being on this planet has this incredible power within them, and all we have to do is to connect with this power and unleash it. And you may say, well, Andy, I don't know how to do that. Well, you do. There have been moments in your life where you have been inspired and you've done something phenomenal. You've done something that surprised everybody, that surprised yourself. And people looked at you in that certain way and said, I didn't know you had it in you. That was you linking into this incredible, unleashing this power within you. And that's where we need to be. You need to just let rip and let it go. Pull the cord and let everything, expand and happen. Now, so this is it. You need to make this decision and say, I am sick to death of where I am. I am not having this anymore. I control my life. No other person controls it. I am in 100% control of this. I will not allow any outside influence anymore to take control. We can be in bad situations where we're saying, okay, well, I can't do this because I'm married to this person. I can't do this because I've got this responsibility. I can't do this because I've got this job. Well, think about it. You always have the choice to make a decision to change all of those things. Some of these things can be, overnight. You can just go and do them instantly. Some of them take planning. But you need to make this decision that you're not going to have it anymore in your life and you're going to move things as quickly as possible. So it's getting to that point of being sick to death of it all, saying that I'm worthy of much more than this, and then defining exactly what you want out of your life. And I get my journal out and I'd say, well, okay, write down your perfect life. Write down the way that it should be. Write down the life that you deserve. Write down to the point of how your body should be, what kind of friends you've got, what job you've got, what kind of food you should be eating, where you go on holiday, what car you've got, what house you've got, which country, what city you live in. All of it. Brainstorm the whole thing in detail, and don't get depressed because you've not got it. It's not about that. It's about creating now your future. All of those things are possible if you get a determined mind and say, this will be, this is what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a difference, I'm going to make this happen. I promise you, the stronger minded will make all of it happen. But even if you make one or two things out of it happen, isn't your life going to be great?
Oh, yeah. I love that. Yeah, you're so right. But we're so conditioned to think, even if it was only one or two things, it wasn't everything. And But I love the way you said that. Even if you just did one or two, isn't that already better than what you had?
And I say that because a lot of us will just people's minds close and say it's impossible. But if I just say one or two, then you can do that, and maybe you'll do three or four, or maybe you'll do the whole thing. Yeah. But you've got to work with your mind because it's tricky. It's protecting you. It doesn't want you to be disappointed. So it's always going to minimize everything and say this is baloney. You can't do it. Belief systems come in. Your parents saying, "Oh, you'll never amount to anything," or you should give that up because you're just daydreaming, and they're trying to protect you, and it's not protecting you. You just got a miserable life out of it. For me, if we could just realize the potential of this precious human life, we have the potential to do anything, but it takes determination. It takes persistence. It isn't easy. There's times when you're going to get slapped down hard and continuously. But you know what you got to do? You got to say, I don't give a damn. My will be done. I'm going to achieve this. I will stop when I have achieved it, and only then. And even if today I don't do anything and nothing happens and I get into depression, tomorrow's another day. I'm still moving forward. I'm still going to reach that goal. I'm still going to get there. That is going to be mine. I'm unstoppable. No question about it.
You are a force, Andy Shepherd.
And we all have this inside us. And this is what we've got to do. I've been through tremendous struggles in my life, and I've just taken it on and saying, I don't care what you give me and what you send my way. It's irrelevant because I've already seen the future. I own my future. I know where I'm going to be, and where I am now is irrelevant. This is just a stepping stone. This is just a process. This is just getting me to where I deserve and will be. This is not reality. When I get to where I'm going is reality, and it's going to happen. That's it.
Absolutely. I love that. And I wholeheartedly agree. We have seen evidence of people accomplishing amazing things. We all have that potential. It's to stay strong. And I think journaling is a big key. It's a starting point, absolutely, to get there. But you saying, when you were talking, it made me think of, do you know who Howard Stern is?
Again, I've heard the name, but okay.
Yeah, he's a radio personality, crazy guy, really outspoken. Mm-hmm. He had a caller call in one time, wanted to give him some feedback. Hey, Howard, I've been listening to your show. I want to give you some feedback. And Howard was like, I don't want it. He's like, well, what do you mean? It's feedback. Everybody should want feedback. He goes, no, I don't care what your feedback is. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. He's like, but Howard, he goes, but buddy, I don't care. If I had listened to what everybody had said, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. Yeah. So I don't need your feedback. He goes, but it's valuable. That's what everybody wants, feedback. He goes, no, I don't want feedback. I don't need it. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. And I just thought, yes. Because if we had all listened to what everybody had said, God, we'd all just be laying on the couch, watching TV, doing nothing.
And this is a great metaphor for what we can say to our subconscious. It's like saying, yeah, I don't need to listen to you because I mean, that's what I do. I mean, my subconscious is saying, don't do it. And I'm going, yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm going to go do it anyway. Just watch me. And it's like going, no, don't do it. And I'm going, I don't care. I'm still doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I left Brazil, I was absolutely petrified. There was a part of me which was in absolute fear. I thought, what am I doing? I've put all of my life savings into an English school. It's successful. It's bringing good money in. I've got a beautiful apartment, brand new, with state-of-the-art, beautiful furniture and big television. I've got great friends. I'm a hero here. I go down the street and everybody's saying hello to me. I'm on the radio, local radio once a week. I'm on like cable TV. I've got beautiful beaches nearby. I can go there 1.5 hours. I've got 86 beaches. You think of paradise, of what a beach in paradise looks like. That's what it is there. And I'm leaving all of that. Am I insane? And I went, I don't care. I'm doing it. I know this is the right thing to do. And that's what got me to coming here, because I just ignored it. Yeah. I just said, this is the right thing to do. I connected to my intuition and I know that I'm doing the right thing. And I did it. And it has been difficult here. I'm not going to deny that, but that's irrelevant. I'm a man on a mission, and you just got to keep going. You
are.
And Brazil's always there. I can always go. I've got friends. I can go and stay with them. I don't even need a hotel. I just need my flight over there, and I know that I'll be welcomed with open arms. And it's always there for me.
Yeah, you definitely are a man on a mission, Andy. Absolutely. And I've loved watching all the things you do. You're always an inspiration. And I'm so glad that we connected, and the amazing people that you can meet online. And you are on a mission and you share such great stuff. And I love watching your videos. So be sure to, go on, if you're on Facebook, go check out Andy's page, his Facebook page, Shepherd Coaching, and his website, again, I mentioned at the beginning, it's shepherdcoaching.com. He's always doing something fun, and he's got some video, and he's sharing his insights, and he's the man. He's the man for the mindset. So if you're struggling, you just need to, reach out to Andy and talk to him and watch some of his videos, because he has done a lot. He is definitely an example of mastering his mindset. So be sure to reach out to him. Andy, our time is up, man.
Wow. Is that it? We only started like 2 minutes ago.
I know.
Sure?
Yeah, unfortunately, yes, but thank you so much for joining me short notice today. I so appreciate it, but it is such an important topic. I mean, it's the center point to our lives, is mastering our mindset. So I appreciate you taking the time out today.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting me on. It's always a pleasure to be talking to you. You're an amazing person, inspirational. You've got great energy. I just adore talking and being with you. It's been great to be on the show. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Andy. I look forward to see what else you have coming up, and we'll have you back again, because you just have so much to share. So this has been fabulous. Thank you. Again, everybody listening, check out Andy on Facebook, Shepherd Coaching. If you're on Twitter, his handle is Shepherd_coach. Again, his website, shepherdcoaching.com. You rock, Andy. Thank you so much. And thank you, everybody, for listening. If you are feeling in that place where you feel like your life sucks, grab a journal and start creating the life, writing it down of exactly what it is that you want, and start working towards that. And if you need some help, reach out to me, reach out to Andy. There are people there that can help you, that can encourage you, that can help you reprogram and just create what it is that you want and have the ideal become real. So don't be afraid. Reach out. Thank you again to my guest, my producer, my listeners. I appreciate you so much. Have a fabulous Friday. Have a fabulous weekend. And until next time, remember, you have the power in you. Bye-bye for now.